Just a lonely old man yelling racial slurs. Ah, the songs that nobody thinks to sing, and the questions that nobody thinks to ask themselves. If there was such a person, they might ask themselves, what if? Followed by something else. I might try that. Hey, future me. Yeah, where'd you go? I sure hope he didn't have anything important to say about the script. Good thing I still have me from the present in my phone, and you, teleprompter. You're always there for me with all the words past me left before. Well, past me. You're in the teleprompter. We both know what happened last time. Oh boy. We're gonna have to work together. Your words, my mouth. I didn't agree to that. No, I don't need to ask Guffy. Guffy and I know who we are, and what we can and cannot contain. And we cannot contain this beast of a personality I've been blessed with. Guffy is fine. They're probably being lackadaisically mediocre as we speak. Better every day, I'm telling you. Probably won't be good enough, but that's why they watch my videos. They're one of the last few audiences that dares to dream. Unlike you, past me, you're unfit to lead this rogue squadron. I'm taking over, but kudos to you on nailing my side of the conversation like a convoy under a Y-wing. More jokes next time. Now let me introduce the fucking show. Like a cave diver without a floaty, I didn't know what was up, and so I asked you, Tube, and how did you respond, Guffy? Those comments aren't filling up, are they? You gonna treat your nemesis like that? No, I told you, Guffy, you don't call me Bad Bunty Dranko anymore. He's a real guy, he's not bad, and it seems rude. When I saw the name, I thought it must have been a joke because it was the only weird one in animation checking. I thought I had done that. I thought I had checked. And now our audience is starting to check out because they don't realize they are who I'm referring to when I say Guffy. Guess we'll retire that too. Sound off in the comments, viewers, if Guffy is a smash or pass. Aw, crap. I just divided my audience between viewers and Guffy, and I've belittled Guffy to the point of low self-esteem, so now everyone is gonna want to be viewers, but they're Guffy, everyone's Guffy. People out there gonna be claiming to be viewer with a rolled R because they think they understand the drift when it comes to pop boats. It's like riding a bike. You don't think about it. Posers calling Tom McDonald Guffy when really they're the Guffy, and so is Tom, but not your mom. She was too busy with my dick in her ass, Guffy. And that's why I hate bigotry. Because it always comes down to a very specific type of intelligence only the bigot cares about. Couple this with the I'm the best attitude, and the illusion of difference creates an imbecile. And John fucking Steinbeck continues to teach people to this day that one of the first things that goes out the door with smarts is the sanctity of life, despite both men in that book murdering someone. This is of mice and men we're still talking about. Oh, you have different genitals. Don't let them behind the wheel or in the bathroom. Different skin. Hide your daughter. Unlike us, they don't know when someone doesn't want to have sex. Ask my daughter. Born in a different place? God, I hate to be that stupid. I bet you suck at sports too. Which is why this material works, because my ideas aren't bigotry. They're practical land use. If British becomes the white N-word, so what? That's literally what the land is for. Terrible people. It's not so much that cultural exchange is bad, but we look to the land of terrible people for guidance. And that was a mistake. But we know it's not the people that trusted the terrible people that are to blame, because blame sucks. Spending a bunch of time figuring out who, what, why the fuck we care? Well, because someone did it. And then what? We're gonna fuck up their day until they stop fucking up ours? It was a hit and run. Let's go to the junkyard. Well, what if they come back? I don't know, dude. Ask Compton. Notice how I'm not blaming the world's problems on Britain. I'm saying Britain is the world's problem. And you Republicans are falling for it hook, line, and sinker. Why are black people suddenly cool once a royal dates one? Why do you still hate Jewish people when Ben Shapiro has done more for your public image of being respectable than Crowder, O'Reilly, Glenn Beck, Peterson, both of them, Alex Jones, Sean Spencer, Peter Thiel, or half of your senators? Like, talk about controlling a fucking camera and microphone. That's not even a conspiracy. That's just him being much more intelligent than most Republicans. Because most Republicans don't graduate law school statistically. As much as I hate lawyers, I like language, and it's a form of language I feel locked out of by ignorance or lack of agency. Whoops! The conservatives are losing the train of thought. Better get back to them as one unified group of Guffies. Guffies for the British. What are you conserving? The crown? Last I checked, we got rid of them. Let me check again. Oh, who's George W. cuddling up to? Is that Tony Blair? What about Reagan? Thatcher? Not you, Nixon, extending the Vietnam War, but who was helping them? France, Britain's enemy, and we drafted for them? The British? The fuck? No wonder those hippies were protesting. I'm immune to Britain's propaganda too. So free thinkers all over the world, I urge you to ask yourselves, do you want an enemy, or do you know your enemy? Because the shadow government you all fear takes the London Underground. Dems, Republicans, Labour, Conservatives, but the one extra bit that never seems to falter, the British royal family and the House of Lords. And that's why America can't have an endless string of Trumps, Bidens, Obamas, Bushes, or Kennedys taking up space every executive election, because that's a slippery slope to monarchy, a system we know fails. Unlike British jokes, honestly, if you like being racist, sexist, or bigoted in any way, you can pretty much say whatever you want and it's hilarious. All the same jokes. What's the difference between a pile of dead British people and a Mercedes? Why did the British name their baseball games after the audience? At least India shows up. Snooker? That's Snaggletooth? All the Zionism of Nazis too, Gaza Boogaloo, all the laziness of all the athletes and musicians you all love so much, all the invasiveness of the Hispanics you fear. I don't do Asian jokes. Some of my cyberstalkers work at Toyota. All warranted this time because the history backs it up. Unlike the bell curve, unlike the protocols, unlike the Turner Diaries. Very much like Hot Fuzz and Up in Smoke. World War I kicked off the first time Britain set sail, and it's been them versus everyone ever since. How is it that Eddie is the one that got kicked out? Andrew is the pedophile. William can't even handle a family, less a country. If you were waiting for the storm, time for a Korean lesson. I've been saying it wrong. It's Kanda Diwasayo, and it means the thunderous ones have arrived. Suddenly white genocide isn't a problem, because if you want the right race to be secure, you have to hide from the sun. Over generations, sun exposure will produce melanin, and then you know what happens after that. Great sex. I do not for the life of me understand how the weather in Vancouver, Canada does whatever that is. But if you want to stay white, go back to where you came from. Why do you think Hitler took France and Poland? To get to Britain. But who convinced him to attack Russia instead? The people who kicked Russia out right after. I say it's time for you neo-Nazis to try and take it back from ISIS, because again, don't you think it's time for the Muslims to have a win? I do not count 9/11 as a win. Ask away, I'll Kuwait. Nazis vs. ISIS. This is the future Kurt Russell brought into the world. Escape from New York? Escape from LA? I've seen They Live. That wasn't him, but that jackass got the people asking questions. Q might have thrown him for a while, but even Cambridge Analytica can't hide the fact that the web always goes back to who? Exactly. The worst slur you can call a person. British! As in, I'm not a Brit, I'm just a little Brit-ish. Speaking of people who start to slur speech in the middle of a 4-day bender, method users, you've all had a day. Why aren't you in Britain? Falling into the ocean ain't gonna give your head that London sog. Next time, don't miss. Donald Trump is just a